Fala rapaziada que assiste meu canal, beleza galera? Mirio daqui, trampando seja mais um vídeo. E bom rapaziada, estamos aqui para dar continuidade à nossa série de Alan Wake 2 aqui para vocês no canal. Mas antes de dando continuidade aí, peço aquele favor de vocês de se inscreverem no canal, deixar o like no vídeo que me ajuda demais, ativar o sininho também para você não estar perdendo nada. E vambora. A gente vai ter que descer no necrotério, né? Mas já adianto logo rapaziada, se tiver imagem pesada eu vou cortar, tá?
I'm qualified to perform examinations. Yes.
Então vambora rapaziada, deixa o like no vídeo, ativa o sininho. Como de costume, vamos dar aquela exploradinha de leve, né?
It's not opening.
Sabe, eu tive que dar uma cortada que tinha cena muito pesada, mano. Tente ficar na luz para o inimigo não detectar em você.
He can't see me in the light. My gun's out in the hall. Gotta get it back. Gotta move. Now. Vanished. He didn't have a heart, but he still got up. The page predicted all of it. It helped me fight him.
Saga was back at Cauldron Lake. Saga had to pursue Nightingale into the overlap. Finding a way in would be difficult. A ritual. Saga would learn how. Stop the monster.
Tá, mas antes vamos dar uma exploradinha aqui. Como eu falei pra vocês, rapaziada, tive que dar um cortezinho porque, mano, tava muito pesado.
Did the fucker take it with him?
Must be locked from the other side.
Matou um policial aqui também. Acho que tem que falar com aquele cara ali, né?
There's no rational explanation to what we just saw.
I'd love to blame this on mass hallucination caused by inhaling volcanic gas, but we both know that's bullshit. This was supernatural.
Well, I'm glad you were the one to say it. Now we can figure out a way forward. Right before things got crazy, Sheriff Breaker just vanished.
Maybe the sheriff knew more than he was letting on.
He seemed anxious, like he dreaded what was coming. One more mystery. The victim of a ritualistic murder turns into a monster. Is there a connection?
Looks to me like the cult of the tree is performing rituals to create monsters.
Maybe. We need to start with learning this cult's goal, their purpose. A dead man turned into a monster. Light as a way to fight him. Pages predicting the future. There's no rational explanation. This is the case we must solve. The page places Nightingale back at Cauldron Lake. Calls him a taken. We need to head over there, stop him, before anyone else gets hurt.
Okay.
We heard gunshots. Y'all okay?
Did you get spooked by the bodies?
Sheriff Breaker disappeared. Nightingale turned into some sort of a monster, and there are offices down. You two handle things here. We need to get back to Cauldron Lake immediately.
Fuck me. That's terrible. We'll do what we can, man.
That's crazy, right, Thornton?
They're a fine pair.
Take it easy.
My client has been held here long enough. Are you gonna let me speak to them or not?
Just a moment, ma'am. Someone will be right with you.
Nightingale and his cult are dangerous. We need to be prepared in case things escalate more than they already have. Can you call it in, Casey?
A smart choice, Anderson. Yeah, Agent Casey here. Yeah. We need backup. The Bright Falls case. Whoever you can spare. ASAP. Think we'll actually find Nightingale at the lake?
The pages haven't been wrong yet.
We can't assume the person writing these pages isn't playing us.
I agree. But it's our best lead.
Nossa, doideira isso aí, rapaziada. Rapaziada, me desculpa se a minha voz estiver um pouquinho ruim no vídeo. É que eu tô um pouco resfriado, então minha garganta também tá ruim. Então minha voz não tá 100% não, tá, rapaziada? Tô até evitando de falar, porque quando eu falo muito, me dá vontade de tossir, tá, rapaziada? Me desculpe aí, mas não tô entregando a melhor experiência possível pra vocês. O carro pode ser usado para viajar de um lado pro outro.
Rinse and repeat. Clock out, get a beer.
Need to come clean, Anderson. I know why Nightingale was here 13 years ago. He was chasing a writer, Alan Wake.
Tammy mentioned him. She's writing a book on his disappearance.
You know the detective character from his books, Alex Casey.
Yeah, I've heard the jokes at the office. Cold case Casey. Murder case Casey. Sorry.
Haha. The same name, similar job. It's the first thing anyone thinks of. It annoyed me, but that was it. Then, 10 years ago, I started getting strange letters in the mail. Fragments of prose describing murders. You've heard the stories about what happened in New York. Some of it, at least. Bodies started to pile up. It was a murder cult. Turns out the fragments sent to me were from the crime books of Alan Wake. The cult was copycatting the murders from the books. In their heads, they were performing a ritual to bring Wake back. Their imagined prophet. After that case, I started looking into Wake's disappearance on the side.
And you thought this case might be connected to him? His name does keep popping up.
I just wanted you to have all the facts.
Next time, give them to me before we find ourselves in the middle of a horror story.
Coração. Então,
The
rapaziada,
page says nightingales in something called an overlap.
vamos dar
Need to figure
continuidade
out
aqui.
exactly what that means.
I'm happy I'm not in charge of this mess.
Thanks. Let's start looking for Nightingale where he was killed.
E carregar, né?
Great. This area is supposed to be close to the public.
Então vamos continuar aqui
The
então,
writer of these
rapaziada.
pages knows what will happen. Because they're behind this, or because they can see what's coming. Impossible things are happening here. A world operating on different rules. I need to understand this strange logic. To see the
A
clues.
gente tá voltando pelo mesmo caminho que a gente
To
voltou, né?
solve the case.
Provavelmente a gente acho que vai ter que fazer uma investigação aqui melhor sobre o caso.
Whoa.
I've been thinking more about the cult of the tree. What sort of cult refers to themselves as a cult?
In my experience, they don't.
We're not seeing the full picture yet.
Hey, hello there. How are you folks doing?
Those restricted area signs don't do a damn thing, huh?
Hello. Saga Anderson. Are you two supposed to be here?
I'm Ilmo Koskela. Fantastic to meet you. And yes, Stephen here hired me to show him through the woods. He's in town on important government business. Fixing this impressive piece of hardware.
I work for the FBC, ma'am. I'm authorized to be here.
And I bet you two are here about that murder. Nasty stuff. How's it going?
How did you hear about the murder, Ilmo? Do you know anything that could help us?
People tend to tell me things. The Koskela brothers are kind of a household name around here. Speaking of, if you're looking for some fun, stop by Watery. Just down the road from Bright Falls, there's our Coffee World amusement park. There's sauna ja vihta. And we offer a variety of guided tours, hunting, fishing, hiking, whatever strikes your fancy. You name it, we probably got it.
What is this thing?
It's just a monitoring station, ma'am. The Federal Bureau of Control checks volcanic activity and air toxicity levels. No need to worry, though. It's mostly for research purposes.
That's one gorgeous sweater, Saga. Looks Nordic. I bet a family member made it.
My mother made this sweater for me. How do you know?
I knew it. My mom used to knit those sweaters for me and my brother. Watery, my hometown, was founded by Finnish immigrants. So between your name and the sweater, I figured your family might be from Finland too. Suomi, Finland. Ulla, Karjalan piirakka.
Close. My mom's family is from Sweden originally. I don't know much about them beyond that. The sweater is just something to remember her by. Stephen, we're investigating a murder that occurred nearby. What can you tell me about your bureau?
Nothing that isn't classified, I'm afraid. But I don't know anything about a murder. Operations here are run by a different department. I'm just here to make some repairs. The wiring on this thing frays every couple months.
Yep, that's the raccoons. They grow real big here with teeth like you wouldn't believe. Can't gnaw right through a garbage can.
That's all for now. Let's get to the murder site, Casey. A lot of things about this case keep bothering me. But one thing feels really off. Breaker's disappearance. I don't get the feeling Nightingale was responsible.
He was about to give you more of those pages. Something didn't want us to have them? Or was protecting him from Nightingale? Spontaneous combustion? I don't know. It's not the kind of disappearance we normally solve. Our crime scene's drowning. I never minded rain. Feels like home.
No sign of Nightingale. But the page did place him at Cauldron Lake, in an overlap. So how do we follow him there?
Maybe something around here will tell us.
We've seen this symbol before.
Good eye.
After we find Nightingale, what then? I've never arrested a monster.
I've watched you arrest plenty of monsters, Anderson.
You know what I mean. Monsters. Light worked against him at the morgue. That might be the only way to stop him from hurting anyone else. Monsters? Overlaps? Rituals? What do you make of all of this?
The killers are usually the ones performing the ritual, not the detective. Acting out their sick fantasy. They may be trying to get you involved, forcing you into their twisted world.
But with dead men coming alive, the word ritual starts to have more weight behind it. We need to look around, learn what this ritual is. Bare feet. Nightingale. I'll see where these footprints lead. Can you comb through the crime scene one more time, KC? Just in case?
On it. If anything comes up, I'll radio you.
The tracks lead into the water. Where'd he go from here? I can feel something. A presence. Nightingale isn't far. I know Nightingale is somewhere around Cauldron Lake.
The tree was a threshold. This place and the dark place. You're in over your head. Next stop, Caldera Street Station.
The threshold. Like a doorway. Leading to Nightingale. It's somehow connected to a tree. Witch's ladle? These aren't the same tracks that were here before. They're headed into the tree, not out of it. My flashlight burned the dark stuff away.
The fuse was in place. Saga stepped into the witch's hut. Inside, a bright light. There were objects that stood out to Saga, as if the light had manifested them.
The witch's hut. Okay. I trust the pages to lead me to the overlap. This is the witch's hut.
Anderson, thought I saw something in the woods. Probably just a deer, but I'm gonna check it out.
Okay. I found another page. Following up on a lead. Keep checking in. This fuse is busted. Is that a kid's lunchbox? An Alex Casey movie lunchbox. Casey hates the endless jokes about coincidentally having the same name as a fake detective. He crime books, but he really hates the movies.
Vamos lá, aprimoramento de arma. A gente não tem o que melhorar ainda, né, rapaziada? Tá.
This one looks good. People should really stop littering, though. Another page.
The image of the witch in the sign. Saga addressed the witch. The smudged line on the heart. The second part recited from memory. I brought you the heart, witch. Show me the terror. Saga pushed the heart through the hole in the sign.
Figured all this out already. So this goes here, and that goes there. The page from the witch's hut seems to be describing some kind of ritual. Finding a Casey movie lunchbox out here can't be a coincidence. Another message? The cult of the tree is behind these murders. This case just became much more complicated. I'll need to start a new file. But it's my first cult case. Exciting. Ugh. Think. Think, Saga.
Bom, rapaziada, acho que eu vou fazer o seguinte, mano. Eu concluí, acho que um pedaço daquele caso ali, né? Eu vou fazer o seguinte, rapaziada. Eu vou encerrar esse vídeo por aqui. Valeu. Se vocês gostaram, mano, se inscreve no canal. Deixa o like no vídeo que me ajuda demais. Ativa o sininho de notificação pra vocês não estar perdendo nada. E é isso, rapaziada. Daqui a gente continua no próximo vídeo. Vou ficando por aqui. Um forte abraço. Valeu e fui!